House of Representatives, the Deputy Senate President, and the other members of the National Assembly here present, the state governors of Kwara State, Jigawa, Ogun, the Deputy Speaker, Senators, and House of Representative members, Honorable Ministers here present, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chief of Staff, National Security Advisor, Service Chiefs, just decorated, congratulations. I once congratulate you on your appointment and subsequent confirmation by the Senate. As your Commander-in-Chief, I am impressed. Let me recognize and express this to the spouses, particularly the wives of newly decorated officers and members of their family, my deepest thanks and gratitude on behalf of this grateful nation that the security is improving. The sacrifices you make will not be in vain. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to giving peace and stability to these great officers while in service in the bush. Today's ceremony is beyond symbolism of swearing in. It marks the beginning of our renewed effort to ensure the peace and security of all Nigerians. A renewal one. Each of you has been carefully selected for this critical task. Security is the essential element without which everything else is rendered meaningless. There cannot be sufficient development of this fundamental aspect of human need unless we meet it. Our people and our nation must remain secure to enjoy the benefits of governance and democracy. The government's foremost duty is to protect the citizens over years. Our military has remained steadfast in defending our nation's territorial integrity, with many soldiers paying the supreme and ultimate price for their services. As a thank you to their family, the sacrifices will not be in vain. And it's up to you. The new servitudes. Say in dark times, when terrorists and armed marauders held significant portion of our land, that time is over. You are the gallant officers of the armed forces who rose to the challenge and reclaimed those occupied territories back. Thank you for the rescue mission. The country is anxious, particularly to see that we defeat terrorism. Those areas under siege has been rescued. Countless of the kidnappers that you rescued are significantly diminished capacity of the terror groups. I must at this stage say, General Shoaib, I understand you were injured, you recuperated, I saw so many stories, clips, and lines of Operation Adenkai. All of you working together as a team has made the country proud. I thank our armed forces for their patriotism, diligence, and dedication to duty. As your Commander-in-Chief, I sincerely appreciate your sacrifices and have repeatedly acknowledged this. I will continue to do so. However, challenges remain. Security threats are constantly evolving, constantly mutating. Our grave concern to our administration is the recent emergence of a new armed groups in the troublesome area of North Central, Northwest, and parts of the South. We must not allow this new threat to fester. We must be decisive and proactive. Let us smash the new snakes right in the head. I charge you, as head of our nation's armed forces, to carry out your duties with patriotic zeal. Nigerians expect result and not excuses. We are in a hurry to celebrate peace. I charge you also to be innovative, preemptive, and courageous. Let's stay ahead of those who seek to threaten our peace, freedom, and stability. Let us deploy technology where necessary. We cannot allow the crisis that began in year 2009 to persist any longer. It is time to defeat the enemies. I wish you the best. I advise you to work together as a team, compare notes, exchange your information effectively, and follow up proactively. Work with other security agencies and defeat this enemy once and for all. We need to clean them up, clear them out. I promise to provide all support you need to get the job done. Thank you very much.
His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, the Senate President, the Vice President, yeah, sorry, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Senate President, Deputy Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, other members of the National Assembly, the Chairman of the Governors Forum, that's the Governor of Kwara State, members of the Federal Executive Council, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chief of Staff to the President, the National Security Advisor, my Minister, the Minister of Defense, my colleagues, that's the Service Chiefs and the Chief of Defense Intelligence, senior government officials, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by thanking the Almighty God for giving us all the grace to be here today. Indeed, His mercies endure forever. I would like to thank Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, for finding the Service Chiefs, the Chief of Defense Intelligence, and my humble self worthy to be elevated today. It's also important to appreciate the Senate President and members of the National Assembly for the support that they gave me, particularly when I was Chief of Army Staff. And I believe that that support should be extended more to us now as we try to checkmate the myriads of challenges facing Nigeria generally. Our appreciation also goes to the governors who support all our positions in their states. I would also like to appreciate the Minister of Defense, who leads the charge against terrorism, banditry, and all forms of criminality within our country. In the same vein, I'd like to thank the National Security Advisor, who pretends over the intelligence structure. Well, it would be an abnormal if I don't thank our spouses, our families, who make do without us being at home and support all our endeavors. Lastly, I would like to appreciate all the distinguished personalities that are present who have come to grace this occasion. But in all, I want to thank all Nigerians for the support they give to the armed forces. And I expect that they give us more so that we can make Nigeria safer. I want to assure Mr. President and all Nigerians today that we'll do our utmost best to ensure that we rid Nigeria of all forms of criminality and make Nigeria safer so that socio-economic endeavors can thrive. We pledge our loyalty to Mr. President, and we assure you that we'll continue to support the flourishing democracy and support all your government aspirations to make Nigeria better. That's our pledge for you today. Long live Nigeria. I thank you all.